Hello everybody, and this video is a call to a constitutional convention, something you've never seen before, and I hope you never have to see it again, folks, but it's a very important video. Please pay attention, play it over and over, send it to all of your friends, because this country's future depends on what you do next. We are actually the new founders of a new nation, which is a new version of the old America, which is now deceased. I know that's a mouthful, but read it back and think about it carefully. What we need to do is call a constitutional convention to straighten out all of the junk that's been handed down to us for centuries by the founding fathers, and that has allowed the two parties to rob us blind and actually ruin this country. We used to be a great country, and now we're just another country. So it's time for some new ideas, folks. And this is what we have to do. I've thought about this all my life. I've listened to all kinds of thousands of other arguments, and I've been active in both political parties, and they both ended up screwing me and screwing you. Why? Because they sold out. Every single one of them has sold out to one corporate interest or another. They take money, which is really a form of a bribe, which is their campaign contribution, and then they do things that the bribing people want them to do. They rarely, if ever, do anything that makes sense for the country or for the middle class or ordinary American citizens. You know this. You've seen it going on for all of your lives, and now it's time to do something about it. We are here declaring a Declaration of Independence, spelled a little differently than the first time, because we now need to be completely independent. And that's what I call the Second American Revolution. So I could go on and on and on all day about why we have to have a constitutional convention, but here's the most compelling argument, I believe, and that is that most people in this country, the vast majority of us, don't even vote anymore, because we know, or they know, I actually do bother to vote, but most people don't, because they know it really makes no difference who is in and who is out. And you know what? They're right. Think about it. Did your last vote, whether you voted for Bush or McCain or Obama, did that do you any good? If you think it did, then you're not really paying attention. So please pay attention to this. This is the real message that we have to get across to every American citizen. Today, we rely on concepts of government put in place by farmers who owned slaves. They were great men, don't get me wrong, but they were farmers who owned slaves. So we were lucky as hell to get the little bit of freedom and democracy that we did from these men. They could have said, hey, we're going to have a slavery type of system from now on. They could have done it. They didn't, because they knew that was wrong. And they gave us the right, a little bit of democracy, because they gave us the right to march in the streets and demand things change. And they gave us the right to free speech and free press, which is what I'm applying right now. They gave us the right to assembly, to petition the government for a redress of grievances. And more than that, most importantly, they gave us the right to get together, hold a constitutional convention, and make amendments to the Constitution, which means we can change it any damned way we want. This is one of my heroes of modern day. She's the modern Joan of Arc. Whoever she is, I don't know her name, but she's marching in the streets of New York right now in the Occupy Wall Street protest movement. And she's really the most patriotic, heroic woman I know. Look what she does. She takes off her shirt to get attention on their movement, and it worked. We're now paying attention to their movement every single day on the evening news because of this woman and many others like her, putting their lives on the line, getting arrested by the police in New York for exercising their rights to free speech. This country has now become a Nazi-occupied country. It started during the Nixon administration, and it hasn't gotten any better today. Nixon, in case you don't know, actually murdered, had his National Guard shoot people like this in the streets when we were protesting the Vietnam War. We have to change, folks. Dissent is the only patriotism that really counts. And dissent means thinking new ideas and getting rid of the old, wasted, idiotic corrupt people like this? Do you think you regard these people as patriots or traitors? I'm going to tell you in a minute what I think, in case you all don't already know. Our first revolution was because King George of England imposed a penny tax on tea. We didn't like that, so America was born in 1776. We're a very independent sort of people. There's the old fart who put a penny tax on our tea and started the American Revolution. This guy is a hero compared to the people we have in power today. This guy is the most benign son of a bitch in the history of our country compared to how they're screwing us now. A penny on tea? I think we'd all give up all the taxes, all the thousands of different ways they tax us, and have it replaced with 1 penny on tea. And the capitalist system that we're in, only a very select few can make money from capitalism. That's how they've rigged the game now. And these are the two people that made the most from the collapse of the financial system in 2008, Bush and his oil buddies. They even love each other in public. Folks, this was the biggest bank robbery in history, the Bush administration. And I'm sad, so sad that Obama hasn't instigated some legal proceeding against that guy. Bush should be in jail for what he did. The day of the financial collapse, insiders, people on Wall Street, were selling short, in other words, making money while the market crashed, and they made billions from that, from buying puts and selling all kinds of indexes short because they knew what was going to happen before the rest of the world did. The rest of us lost our shirts because we didn't get the information in time. So they got billions of dollars, and then they got million-dollar bonuses for destroying the economy from their own employers, the Wall Street investment bankers. And then, to make matters worse, your government bailed them out because they said they were too big to fail and they were having financial problems. Well, of course you're going to have financial problems if you cause the whole global economic system to collapse, even though you personally were making money on the whole collapse. That's what happened. And the Bush administration is implicit in that criminal activity. Folks, I wrote a book about this. It's called America 2 Incorporated. You have to get a copy. You got to go to my website, america2inc.com, and get a copy. And send copies to everyone you know. And send this video to everyone you know, because it's our only hope. In my book, I take the stand that we must incorporate the United States government because the corporation is the most pure form of government that there is. Think about it. All the accountability and the disclosures and the openness and the fiduciary responsibility that the leaders have to the stockholders. We are the stockholders in America, but they don't give us any actual stock. It's time to change that. It's time that we got dividends for all the money that they're throwing around all over the world. Trillions and trillions of your dollars and mine, but what do we get out of it? Nothing. We lose our jobs, we lose our homes. They say thank you very much. Please go to this website where you'll learn how we can take our country back by incorporating and having a constitutional convention and changing a few of the basic things that allow these crooks to rule over us. We are slaves, in case you didn't know it. Founding fathers were slave owners, but they sure didn't intend for future generations to be enslaved. But that's what's happened. Thank you for watching. God bless America. Go to that website now and help this cause, or it's you know, your children and their children after them will condemn you for doing nothing.